Good morning and welcome to another episode of Tea with Z. My name is Zamal Salaki and it's an absolute pleasure to be joining you and having you on another episode again this morning. I hope wherever you are in the world, you're keeping safe and well. And if you haven't done so already, go and grab your cuppa, whatever that might look like. And yeah, join me on the first day of spring or autumn, wherever it is, wherever you are in the world. Now, if you are watching live, definitely give me some likes, give me some love. I love to interact with each and every one of you. And if you are watching on the Limitless Network, a special shout out to the Limitless Network. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, the exclusive community for like-minded health entrepreneurs. And if you're interested in checking it out, there's the details on the screen. But like always, drop some comments in the comment section below if you are watching a replay as well, because I would love to interact with each and every one of you. But if you are watching live, yeah, definitely let's start the chat off. So yeah, just jump on and say hi. So yesterday, the last day of winter, we were talking about taking stock and looking back at where we had been and where we had gone through that last month, but also through the last season. And so today, what I really wanted to do was touch on looking towards the future and what that would look like. So, first day of a new month. First day of new month. What does that mean for you? What do you do when you, I guess, start a new month? Do you take stock, like we mentioned yesterday, of what's happened in the past? And do you plan actually for what you're going to be doing in the future? Now, I caught up with some mates on the weekend and they asked me, "Oh, Zamil, where do you get the inspiration for Tea with Z from? Like it must take you a lot of time to plan and prepare for." And I told them what I do is I map it out each month's worth of somewhat, I guess I generate a big list of topics. And each day then I look through those lists and I go, well, what topic resonates with the flow and what's happening in the world today? And that requires an element of pre-planning. Now, that planning then can be long, it can be short, but what that does is it allows me to even deliver these sorts of episodes to each and every one of you on Tea with Z. Some content that is relevant not only today, but that you can watch in the future on replay as well, and hopefully still get some value out of it. And that's the aim for me, is not to just engage with the live audience, but to also create this content so that you can always come back to it and look back and go, oh, what was that Zamil mentioned on that day? Find that content and rewatch it. And like I mentioned as well, your comments along the journey, whether live during, I guess, our chats, but also after on a replay, really help to, I guess, mold what that content looks like. And when I read all of your comments and I see your levels of engagement, I then can plan future content out based on the content and the questions that you might have. So if you do have any questions as well, or any particular topics that you do want me to talk about, then I definitely welcome your feedback. Now, take stock of what I just did there. I explained my process and I explained that I take time to plan and I take time to look into the future. But I also take time to look at where I've gone from, and also seek feedback from those that are around me to help me to improve and to plan what I do forward. And so by using that same strategy within your own health entrepreneurial journey, you can then use not only today, but use every day to help plan and make, I guess, a holistic view on what you want to achieve based on where you've come from, what you've learned along the way, and feedback from the people along the journey with you. And so today being the first of the month and the first of a new season, what does this month, what does this new season look like for you? Are you taking the time out of your busy schedule to actually sit down and actively plan? Do you have a planning process? And if so, do you follow that process? Do you stick to that process, and does it allow you to review and analyze the results along the way? And so that's my question, I guess, is what importance do you place on planning? What importance do you place on planning and the role that planning plays in your life? Because at the end of the day, if we don't know where we're headed and how we're going to get there, then we could end up anywhere else. And if for ourselves we aren't planning, then somebody else is going to start to impart plans for us. And as that quote says that I just posted up, and let me just read that again. If you don't design your own life plan or even your own business plan, chances are you'll fail into someone. Chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. And guess what? They have planned for you, not much. And that's by an American entrepreneur named Jim Rohn. And he speaks a lot about planning. He speaks a lot about planning, and I guess planning by design. Because at the end of the day, are you going to end up out of this season, out of this month, whatever results you obtain out of it by chance or by luck? Or maybe you're going to perceive it as being unlucky. Or are you going to do it by design? And when we look at the state of the world that we're in right now, particularly even in Australia along our eastern coast, and the volatility in our markets at the moment, in our businesses, along our own health entrepreneurial journey, how are you planning for not only what's happening this month, but then allowing those plans to translate into what you want to achieve coming out of whatever situations you might find yourselves in right now? And if you don't take the time to stop, to take action and to act, well, to plan and then to take action from those plans, then how can we actually progress to where we want to head? How can we achieve the things that we want to achieve? And that's my question. That's my question for you today is, what does your planning look like? What does your planning look like? Are you prioritizing a plan? Are you leveraging the opportunities within your environment, within your community? Are you seeking feedback from those around you as to how you can do things a little bit differently? And by all means, I receive a truck ton of feedback personally, and we have to filter it. We have to filter it because at the end of the day, that's their perspectives, and I value their perspectives. And yeah, and some people would have very different perspectives as to the trajectory and as to my planning. But what are the people in your life? How are they influencing the decisions you're making? And how are you filtering out that content based on your experiences, your plan, your mission, and where you want to head and how you want to get there? Because there's always a lot of advice out there. And at the end of the day, it's up to you to take on board what advice you receive. It's up to you to take on board and to implement whatever information that you're given. And so at the end of the day, when we look at planning, that helps us to decipher what we've actually come across. It helps us to filter out all of the information that we've received and really pick out what's relevant and pick out what is actually going to help us to improve and to actually achieve what we want to achieve. So that's my question for you is, what does your planning look like? What does your planning look like today? And how are those plans going to impact how you create what you want by design for not only today, tomorrow, but for this entire month, this entire season, this entire quarter, this entire year? And all in service to achieving your mission. So your 3 to 5 year goal. And that's what we look at the end of the day. Where does that look like for you? Because at the end of the day, we need to do, in order to achieve our 3 to 5 year goals, 6 to 11,000 individual strategic tasks to get there. And it starts today. It starts today to get there. Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's really important that as you go along that journey, that you appreciate that things will come. And I know for my own journey, I know that hand on heart, I would, at the end of the day, when we had our pharmacy and we built it up to what we did, it wasn't something that happened overnight. For many people, we don't appreciate that. We don't appreciate that there is a journey and a process to be followed. But it starts with planning. It starts with planning, mapping out where you want to go. It's the same as you plan out a holiday. Yes, you can, just book a flight, an open-ended ticket, and I've done that before as well. And you find, yeah, you'll get your way through it, but you might end up at a different destination as to one that you've been on. You might find that you've gone through inefficient routes. You might find that you've actually taken the wrong form of transport and actually ended up in somewhere completely different, or taken you a lot longer to get there. And I know that's what happens sometimes without a plan. But by planning for design, we can then ensure that we get to our destination as quickly, as efficiently, as effectively as possible. And that's what it's about. Because at the end of the day, why are we in business? Why are we on our own health entrepreneurial journey? Why have we set our goals for health? Whether or not it's something that we want to achieve for ourselves in terms of our own health and well-being, or it's something that we want to achieve in our business. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this and doing this for a reason. And so what's that reason for you? And how are you going to get there? So that's it from me today. Planning, what does it look like for you? Are you placing an importance on it today? And are you creating this next month, this next quarter, this next year by chance or luck, or unlucky? Or are you creating it by design? So, like I mentioned before, if you are watching a replay, or even if you're watching now, make sure you give me some love. I feed off the energy that you give me. Yeah, so definitely, please, please keep it going, because it actually, really helps to motivate me to keep me going. And I really enjoy interacting with each and every one of you. And also a really special shout out to the Limitless Network. I did mention them at the morning, but this is a community of like-minded health entrepreneurs that are on a health journey in any way, shape, or form. So we've got accountants, cleaners, medical professionals, we've got lawyers, we've got pilots, we've got a whole bunch, we've got engineers. There's a whole raft of different, occupations in this network. But one thing's in common is that we all value health. And so, I really encourage each and every one of you to jump on this. We're growing each and every day. And like I mentioned as well, if everyone watching within the Limitless group, or even yourselves, think about the people in your life that truly value health and could benefit from just even hearing or being these stimulating questions that are asked during T with Z, and bring them on the journey with you, because that's what it's all about. So that's it from me today. If you do have any questions or comments, definitely comment in the comment section below. And I look forward to catching up with you on another episode of Tea with Z tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well, and have a fantastic day. And I'll catch you then. Take care now. Bye.